So, what if I told you that your identity, who you think you are right now, isn't set in stone? What if it's something you can actually design and build, kind of like an architect with a blueprint? Well, today we're diving into that exact blueprint, how to stop being defined by your past and start, well, engineering your future self.
So let me just ask you, straight up, are you defined by your past? Do old labels, old mistakes still have a say in the decisions you make today? It's a really important question because your answer is going to determine whether you're living like a prisoner or like an architect of your own life.
And this, right here, lays out the two paths perfectly. On one side, you've got the prisoner. They're trapped by those old stories, stuck in this loop of getting the same weak results over and over. And, they end up surrendering respect. But then you have the architect. They're actively designing their future self, creating totally new outcomes, and because of that, they command respect. The choice between these two, that's what this is all about.
Okay, so first, let's really dig into what it means to be a prisoner of your past. And look, this isn't just about having some bad memories. It's about letting those memories call the shots today and box in what's possible for you tomorrow.
It's that little voice in your head, right? The one that says, oh, I'm just not a leader, or I'm terrible with money, or I always mess this up. Those identities, they are a trap. The moment you cling to labels like that, you start acting in ways that prove them true. It's a total self-fulfilling prophecy of defeat.
So what's the alternative? This is where it gets really exciting. You can become the architect of your future self. And this isn't some fluffy, wishful thinking. No, this is about strategic design and deliberate construction of a brand new identity. And here's the absolute key to it all. Your self-image is the blueprint that dictates everything. It's that simple. If your internal blueprint says you're weak or you're not good enough, your actions are going to be timid and small. But if you change that blueprint, if you start defining yourself as capable, confident, and powerful, your actions just naturally start to line up with that. And the respect from others, that just follows.
Let's make this real with an example. So, meet Emma. When she first started out, her internal identity was just an assistant. She was super talented, but how she saw herself was totally holding her back. And because her vision for herself was small, well, her decisions stayed small too. She wouldn't put her hand up for the big projects, she wouldn't voice her bold ideas in meetings, and what happened? She was completely overlooked for promotions. Her reality was a direct mirror of her internal blueprint. But then, this was the turning point. Emma started doing the work to change her own blueprint. She stopped seeing herself as just an assistant and started to actively, vividly visualize a new identity, a bold, strategic leader who brings massive value to the table. And guess what? With that new vision came new actions. She started pitching those bigger ideas she used to keep quiet about. She started taking initiative. She began acting like the leader she was becoming. And the outcome? Her boss noticed. The promotions she always deserved, they started rolling in. The key is she didn't change her job first, she changed her identity first. Okay, so that's a great story, but how do we do this for ourselves? How do we actually go from being the prisoner to the architect, just like Emma did? Well, the whole process really stands on three foundational pillars. This right here is your construction plan. It's built on three really powerful pillars. First, you've got prospection power. That's about seeing your future. Second is identity evolution, redefining who you are right now. And third, habit architecture, building that new identity brick by brick with your daily actions. Let's break them down. First up, prospection. Think of this as the engine for change. It's the active, vivid visualization of the person you want to become. And research actually shows that when you have a clear emotional connection to that future self, you make way better decisions today. It's what let Emma connect her small daily choices to her bigger goal of being a leader. The second pillar is identity evolution. This is where you consciously redefine who you are. Now, this is so important. This is not faking it till you make it. It's not pretending. It is engineering. You are strategically choosing the traits and the beliefs of your future self and literally installing them as your new operating system. And finally, we have habit architecture. Because look, an identity isn't just a thought, right? It is forged in action. Your small, daily habits are the actual bricks you use to build your new self. Every time you choose to do some strategic planning instead of mindlessly scrolling, you're laying another brick.
And over time, all those little actions compound into this unshakable, commanding presence. All right, theory is great, but it's nothing without execution. So now we get to your battle plan, a set of practical, daily drills you can use to start architecting your legacy, like right now. So here are 4 daily practices to completely rewire your brain. First, the future self-dialogue, where you actually talk to the person you want to become. Second, an identity statement, a short, powerful sentence that defines who you're becoming. Third, a ritual upgrade, where you deliberately swap a weak habit for a strong one. And fourth, a crystal clear legacy vision to guide all your decisions. These aren't just one-time tasks. This is your new daily system. Seriously, if you take only one thing away from all of this, make it this right here. This is the absolute core of that future self-dialogue. Before any big decision, whether you should speak up in a meeting, how you're going to handle a challenge, what you should work on next, just pause and ask this one simple question. What would my best self do right now? Answering that question over and over again is what aligns your actions with your vision. And so we end up right back where we started, with a choice. Your past does not have to be your blueprint. The tools are literally right here in front of you. You can stay a prisoner of old labels, or you can pick up the tools and become the architect of your own legacy. So the only question left is, who will you decide to become?